Welcome to this short video on slicing your 3D print file at St Leonards Library. You can slice your STL file at St Leonards Library or slice it before you arrive for your booked session. Design your own job or source something from the internet. A website that we often use is Thingiverse. The main thing to remember is to save your jobs as a .stl file. So for the example here, I use a tried and tested job of a phone stand, which is a small, concise job that prints from a flat base. Once you find the job on Thingiverse, you click on it and it'll bring up a preview area. But the main place to go is to the Files option here. That's where we can download it from. It's generally best to download it first. And then once we click on it, it will open in CURA if you've downloaded it already. The main settings we need to look at are the printer settings here across the top. So ours is labeled STL Library, but the printer that we'll need to set it for is an Ultimaker S5. And then we have the print nozzle settings in the middle here. The main print nozzle, which is going to be our PLA, which is the one we need for this job, should always be set as AA 0.4. And the support material, which we won't be using for this one, which is called PVA, has to be set as BB 0.4, just so the machine knows the differentiation of the two nozzles. And as we're offering printing in white PLA, it's sort of not necessarily essential, but it's good to change it. So you just left click and you'll get material option here, and you select Ultimaker and then PLA through the drop downs, and then we can just select pearl white or white, and then you'll see it reflects on the job there. And then we have the quality settings here, which can affect the print time. So especially since we have a 2-hour limit on this print, it's important to consider the quality. So there's a selection of options from extra fine to extra fast. So yeah, these will definitely increase the print time, but you can change them and do a slice of the job at the end and see the difference in the costs. Generally, I stick to fast. Extra fast says experimental, but it still generally will give a good finish. And then the density is also like, so 100% would be complete, just a solid unit, and 10% will do a finer mesh of material inside the job. If it's a solid sort of like cube, say, it'll be a bigger space between the mesh of the printing. And generally, for small jobs, you don't really need that kind of strength, so 10% is fine. And then also just make sure the support is turned off, because if the machine thinks it has to add it, that will add to the time as well. Adhesion is generally best to have on. That's a small raft of material that prints around the job to help it stick to the plate as it starts. Once you click on it, you have an option to, on the left here, that's the rotate option, so you can rotate it in all different directions to check this job is one that prints well just from a flat base, which is the essential thing. So we can also, on the left menu here, select to move a job or to scale, which is important. So if you need to make it bigger or smaller, there's a uniform scaling option. So whichever number you change, if we double the size, it will just automatically double each way, and can reduce it back to the normal size. So the main three options that you need are these top three. And then if we right click on the job we get another set of options. So multiply selected is one that could be relevant if you want to increase the number. We're just adding 1, and then it will just mirror the job next to it here. And then if you want to arrange them, you can right click and we can use select all models. And another option you can use is arrange all models, which will put them in the most sort of efficient array on the plate to make it faster for the print. And in the bottom left hand corner we can see the size in millimeters of the job in the 3 axes. You can use the mouse roller on your mouse to zoom in and out to check details, or there's a series of, in the bottom left corner, view options that you can use as well. And the final step is to slice the job, which will calculate the layers of the printing, which is why it's called like slicing down the layers to, and then we get a total time of 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is underneath the 2-hour job limit. And then we would use the save to disk option to put the job onto a USB, and then we'd be ready to go to the printer.
Remember, doing your own 3D printing in the library is limited to white PLA material, jobs that do not require support material, and jobs that are less than 2 hours of print time. This means that your 3D print job will need to be completed within the booked time session. Normal printing fees apply. For any other 3D printing, save your job as an STL file and send it to the library for a quote. Thank you for watching this short video.